Good afternoon. Here we are again. Hope everyone's doing well. Khalid, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you for speaking with us today.
No worries, anytime.
My goal was to talk with you about Omani Hospitality.
Yes.
Before we get into Omani Hospitality, can you tell everybody who you are?
Okay. Khalid Al Shibli, Omani. I'm a graduate for public relations, studying mass communication, and also filmmaker, director, and creative director, working in production and event management. And thank you for having me today.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us. And I know you because I used to work at the university in Sur, and that's how we met years ago. And you are one of many examples of people who show Omani hospitality.
Thank you.
Now, I know we were talking before about, as you say, there's so much to Omani hospitality. So I think I'll just let you kind of take it from here and tell us.
I mean, yeah, we discussed this many times before, and let's talk about different standpoints and what led to this. Like why Oman now is really hospitable, the Omani people really kind, how really interactive with foreigners, guests, anyone from the world. Everyone is welcome here. And let's start, I think, with the history, you know?
Okay, great.
It's important to know how things led to this. It's like, what's the root of it? And the root of it, like, Oman has been the center, or the Arabian Peninsula generally, it's the center between different cultures behind. Like, you got the Indians, you got the Persians, you got from the Romans, the Europeans, or we've also from China. So everyone coming through here, through the Silk Road, through merchandise, through ships. So Oman is no different from the Arabic Peninsula. Is been the port for all these ships. So it's like the center points. Or when I do history talks, as someone who is interested in history, I thought Oman used to be one of the transit for so many goods and ships. So you merge all these culture or all meet these people. So Oman is not unusual to meet new people, foreign people from all the way thousands of years ago. Like we know, like Oman has different civilization before BC that trade with the Persians, with the pharaohs in Egypt, with the Mesopotamia in Iraq, like Babylon and Sumer and Ashur, and now that led after BC or after Christ, like to build their own also identity and culture. And also we know also from religious standpoints that in Islam it's encouraged the hospitality and treating other people as well as you treating your brothers, and no different skin colors or anywhere they come from. And Omanis really love this hadith by the Prophet, and they try to live up all this expectation or the reputation that the Prophet had. I have the translation here. It's in Arabic, but I have the translation.
Great.
Here. Like if you were to go to the people of Oman, they would neither insult you or near strike you. So Omani is really proud of this hadith or this saying by the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, that we are trying to live up, that we are a kind, hospitable people, that the Prophet always known about us. And also they accepted Islam without a fight or a war. So this is really big part of Omani culture. And then you can notice that when coming through the 15th century or 16th century, that you can find that a lot of travelers who came here to Oman from different areas, not just from Europe, also from China, from India, they wrote really good things about Oman. Even Marco Polo, some people say he didn't invite Oman specifically, didn't visit, Oman specifically, but he still heard about it. And like he wrote about it, that it's a really good place that everyone talk about. So this reputation, it's been known there for thousands of years about Oman. And it's not a stranger to about Oman that you heard something about this. So this is like the history standpoint about it.
Okay, and I would say, I mean, and I know we're going to get into some other, sections of it also, but I just, was thinking about when you were kind enough to take me and my friends a couple years back, because you're from Sohar, and you took us around to the Sulphur Springs, a city tour, and your brother-in-law was really nice to come with you and help us to get to the Sulphur Springs, and then your mom had prepared a lovely breakfast for us, and it's just one of those, it always just stands out in my mind of just always, and as you said, no matter what, everyone is welcome, and no matter if it's a guest or a friend or a colleague, just the hospitality. I mean, I've lived here since 2018, and I'm always amazed still by the hospitality.
I mean, you can notice also in Omani culture, it's like we have so many ethnic groups, you know, they're embedded in Omani society and community, you know, and that is can tell you that it is nothing new here, you know, as long like I said in history, we have all these ethnic groups who came from different places, you know, and they live with us in their own monies, and we live all together in harmony. And having a new foreigners, for example, you know, like for now to the modern age, and we have the access points now with the new transportations. So is nothing strange for us, you know, like having Europeans or like Chinese or Indians, so like this has always been the case, you know. And so for you guys, what my parents taught me or my community also taught me, like it's nothing strange. It's something you do always, you know. And we don't ask something in return. It's like it's there. And one of the stories that maybe you would know, it's you know the traveler Ibn Battuta. When he came to near to Sur Qalhat,
Yeah.
he said in his writing he spent 6 days. He didn't pay for nothing because everyone was giving him food, place to stay, and he was really amazed also. Even though he is an Arab and he came from Morocco, and he's Muslim, he should be not you know amazed by that, but he still was amazed. Like this place is so great, you know. And I think 6 or 5 days, I don't remember exactly the days he spent there, but the whole days that he spent there, they gave him food and everything, he'd be for nothing. So that was like how many 100 years ago, but still the same habit and the culture is still there. It's always will be there, of course, inshallah. And that's what we do, you know. It's what we got used to do, you know, welcoming people, introduce them to our culture, and like get to know them better, you know. But like we get to know each other.
Right. No, I think it's wonderful, and I think there's obviously a reason why, whether people are visiting or they live here, they're always just the same, right?
Yeah.
Oman is known for its hospitality, and as I mentioned before, and you know, I think so many people are just amazed by that, and also I think too, just how safe you feel when you're here. And you know, it's okay to go out at night by yourself, and it's okay to leave things. I mean, funny story, I remember I was back home and I was at an art institute, and I just left my bag on the table, went to go up to the counter, and I remember my mom grabbed my stuff, don't leave anything, and I forget, I'm not in Oman anymore. So I have to, you know, just be on guard a little bit sometimes.
And it depends on the place and the culture, like I said. It's like Omani has always been like serving the community by itself. Like they all gathering and they ask these questions about, so we have these greetings. I don't know, maybe you noticed some people when they met each other the first time, the greeting is so long, you know? But that's part of the greeting. The part of the greeting asks, how are you, how's you doing, and all that stuff. But then you ask what information you have, what things do you have. This is part of our culture.
Okay.
So the thing is this is part of the news traveling around Oman, the word of mouth. So at least in the north, we ask the information after we give the hospitality, you know, after we give the coffee, the food and everything, you know. So you can notice also that we don't care who you are, we give you the food first, then we ask you, oh, where are you from? Where is that? It's part of our culture. Some of the the south of Oman, they ask before, like, how are you doing, where you came from, then they give the food. But still the food was always in there, you know, you have to give the guests the food. And like, we always joke around between Omanis, you know, who
Right.
did like the one before, the one after you ask, you know. And like, actually the thing is that we joke around, you know, like for us in the north we tell like, no, you have to give the food to the guest, then ask him, to be rude to ask him where you're from first, you know. So it's always in there that these jokes, but still the thing is the same, just the order is different. And when you get to know someone, you feel safe.
Right.
Like where he's from, his full name. Here it's used to be a tribal, so we still have our tribe, the last name. But used to be back then, it means something more. Like your tribe, oh, I know your tribe, I know someone from your tribe, you know? So when you know him, you feel safe. And that person, the other way, he feels safe. That's why he comes to your house and you give him the food and the hospitality, you know? Either he is Omani or non-Omani. So that's before the modern now, like these days. But usually that's the thing. Now we do the same thing, even though we know that person.
Right.
But we still do the same process. When he comes, we give him the food, then ask him, how's the rain in your home? How's the farm? Did you get a good year of farming? And all these simple small talks that we have. that it's indicate like I care about you, what you have, what's the information you have, while we sitting on the food and having food. One other thing I will mention in different culture, not just Oman, like the Sudanese have like a pet in their guest place, you know?
Yeah.
So when they have a guest, they tell the guest to lay down because you traveled. So lay down, it's okay, it's not rude to lay down and me talking to you sitting, you know?
Okay.
So this is part of Arab culture also, generally, like we really care about the hospitality, you know? Same with the Saudis, they always like insist to eat, you know? Because their culture is revolve also about old Bedouin culture.
Right.
So if we're going back to the roots, it's when you meet someone travel in the desert, he always is of course hungry, so I'm gonna insist to eat and take food with you, you know? So now they still have that customary, like you have to insist because I really care about you. I don't want you to go without food or hungry, you know? Because you're gonna tell about us, like, oh, I went to that home or went to that tribe and they were really good. So now everyone in that tribe gonna trust that tribe, that they are really hospitable, and that's how you build the trust between all communities, you know? So this is part of the customary we have, like in Oman specifically or generally between the Arabs.
Yeah, and I think that is something, I mean, incredible, that I think that, as you said, for how many hundreds and thousands of years that you have had this. And speaking of, you know, food and of course, Omani coffee, right? It's
Yeah.
always a must, it seems, with the coffee and halwa.
Yeah.
And is there any symbolism behind, you know, Omani coffee with halwa, or of course coffee and dates?
Yeah, so the thing is, or the theory goes, like our ancestors used to eat this sweet and caffeine to have power, you know? Now we have sugar, everything. But then, like, you can spend your entire day with halwa and coffee, which is, yeah, this have so many calories, you know? But the thing is, you can indicate that the customary of doing that, like when you shake the cup after you finish. So you see, there's like, you don't have to say anything, you're a guest. Just with a hand gesture, you're like a king or a queen, you know? You don't have to tell us, oh, you have enough, or like, I need more, just with the hand gesture. You can do, that's how we treat our guests, you know? You lay down, you sit, you chill, and just nod, and we're happy to have. You can see that in small details in Omani culture. When someone arrives to the majlis, or like to the guest place, everyone stand up. If he's old or young or a foreigner, that's giving the respect that we acknowledge you coming in. You know, so that's part of warmth of hospitality we have. Like, someone will come to that place where they're sitting, they're all of them gonna rise and stand up and shake hands, welcoming that person. If they know it or not know it, it's like in our culture it's considered a bit rude if you like went to some majlis or like some place with the old guest or family sitting and you just went to handshake the one you know. You have to handshake everyone, and that's how to get to know people, you know, breaking the ice. So we have this icebreaker way before, you know.
Way before it was a thing,
Yeah.
especially in student, yeah.
Yeah, so it's always like, also when he will shake hand to everyone, then sit, the one who know him, or he or she know him, like, he will give the introduction about him, you know. So that's also part of being a guest, you know. I'm introducing my friend to everyone here in the Majlis, where he's from, all that, because he's a guest, he shouldn't be introducing himself. He came as a guest, so I'm introducing because I invited him. So it's like this part of small, you know, customary we have, like indicates hospitality. And for us, it seemed really normal. But when we hear some of, you know, foreigners, you know, like, it's like, oh, I don't know, it's normal for us, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, I remember once I have like sitting in the table with all foreigners or Europeans. I don't remember who's like exactly nationalities, but none Omanis. I was the only Omani. So when someone came, I stand up. And it was like looking at me weird, like, why did you stand up, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's like you just got used to it, you know? Because in our culture, it's considered rude if you don't stand up for someone new came here, even though you know him or not know him. But yeah, this is a fun, different, culturally stuff, you know, we know about.
Yeah, but I think it's a great thing. And speaking of greetings, because I remember a couple of my friends had said, you know, when you go into a room, because if I've gone for, let's say, you know, a wedding or something, you know, it's go around everywhere and you know, shake hands, and then especially if you're leaving. But also, tell us, Khalid, because I know sometimes when Omanis greet each other, you sometimes touch the noses.
Oh yes, yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I mean, this is part of the greetings. I don't know about the origin of it, and I don't think anyone knows about the origin of it, because we found out some of other culture, like some of the tribes in New Zealand, they still do that with the nose thing. Yeah. But I think it's part of, you know, some of the culture do the head North. So I think it's part of origin of tribes when they blend in and showcase that I'm unarmed, anything like in the dark ages,
Yeah.
So I'm getting really close to you. I have nothing to hide, nothing. I'm safe. You can trust me. So also there's some of the stories that one of the Arab stories, I don't know if this is real or not, but also indicate the hospitality or reputation of safety. So some of guy, he was a guy with a camel, he was in a carnival, he was walking through the desert and he met a bandit. So he didn't know he's a bandit, he asked him about water. So when he get close to him, he stole his camel and everything.
Oh.
Yeah. So he left him. So the way he was lefting him, that guy, the one who got stolen from, he was telling him, don't tell how you get this camel. Don't tell that you stole it, because if you tell everyone in the Arabic Peninsula, everyone will think don't trust anyone who is in need. Because when he came to him, thought he would need some water. So that is how we really care about like the trust and hospitality, reputation. Like even that guy, he being stolen, but he still don't care about his camel. He would be left in the desert with nothing. He was thinking about don't tell anyone, because everyone needs some help, And if you tell someone, they will start losing security and trust between each others. So that's also embedded in our culture. Like we really care about how we like safety and trust that between communities, people, tribes, And we mentioned the ethnic groups that living here, and we never had problems with them ever. They have doing the same jobs we do. We do the same culture. Actually, we took from them also some customary. So you find like I'm an Arab, but you're gonna find like I have in my family or like traditions. I get from Baluchi, I get from Indian traditions. I get like if you want some of our weddings, you're gonna find all these different traditions melded in one place,
Right.
Yeah, some Swahili, customary. So it's all in there. Like if you went to some weddings, you're gonna find that. Of course, you went somewhere like it's all different between Arabic, Indian, Persian, Baluchi, Swahili. So that's how I tell you the harmony we live in.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a beautiful harmony as we continue talking about the trust factor, and this is how it is in the culture here of Oman. But of course, for some listening, they may not, let's talk about Oman, location specifically.
Oh yeah, in geographically standpoint, Oman used to be, like I said, in the history, is like the center of the ships going around, in the Indian Ocean. Before going to Southeast Africa, before going to India, India was a big thing. Before going all the way to Asia, like to China and Japan. And like it was to be standpoint, and before the Suez Canal became a thing, used to be to stop to Oman and Yemen, then continue to all the way around Africa. So in Oman is like they are way familiar in history. So the community is always built in history, how they are familiar, where the culture come from, how the customer come from. So like that's why we had like in different places have different ethnic groups. We have like three major ethnic groups. I think the obvious ones like the Baluchi, the Arabs, and the Swahili,
Okay.
and they all married and integrating between others. They all share some customary, and some of them speak the other language. It's a whole thing of integration. And like in the marriages, you can find a lot of Omanis have like their mothers from Tanzania or like Zanzibar,
Right.
or like they're like Baluchi, or the otherwise the Omanis like. So their parents is always mixed, Most of the Omanis also like you're gonna find a lot of Omani are mixed, and there's nothing wrong with that, We all live together and in harmony and everything. And also you can tell that by like I said, the wedding. You can visit the wedding or like a celebration or some outfit you can see. Like you Baluchi, but you wear some Arabic clothing, or that the Arabs or wearing some Baluchi outfit, or the otherwise there was some Swahili or Zanzibar outfit. Eating different food also.
Right.
I think that's the most important. The food.
Food is always important, right?
Yeah. I mean the spices. Omani food or cuisine is distinguished from the rest of the Arabic Peninsula. It has some more spices. Obviously, Indian effects,
Right.
So like you see, the shuwa have so many spices, So it's like we have all this. Like you can tell where this stuff coming from. Oh, this is Arabic origin. This is Indian origin. You can, if you know like the culture, if you're interested in culture and you're a cultural person, of course, like you can tell like where this stuff come from. And it's really beautifully done because Oman is, like I said, they are familiar with that 1,000 or 100 years. So it's like it's nothing weird about it. It's like the weird about it if you're trying to separate, you know, like oh this is look different. Was nothing different. It's us, you know. And that's what makes Oman unique, you know, differently from the let's say GCC or the Arabic Peninsula, you know. But also the rest of the Arabic Peninsula, like the Arab countries, have also their distinguished identity. Like I said, the Arab world is kind of the center of all the culture because he met the West and the East, and they have their own culture. So it's a nice blending, you know. And Oman was really, if you're gonna search it in Google, you're gonna find so many old sketches from Portuguese, French travelers. You're gonna find also some writings from Chinese travelers. From Indians also travelers, they came to Oman and they have the same experience. So you experience the same experience that 100 years ago some travelers had the same experience in there, which is really nice. Like when you look into it, like it's really, you know, Oman is how they build a persona or a character. You know,
Yes.
that's the geographically, you know, effect. You know, we've been blessed that we've been integrated for all these beautifully culture. You know. You can go to like Iran now, you're gonna like find so Omani families living there. You can go to Tanzania, Zanzibar, you're gonna find Omani original people living there. You know, in India, same thing. In Pakistan or like the Baluchistan, they also gonna find same thing. So Omani not just living in Oman, there's Omanis living abroad.
Yeah.
Who was like coming often here, but they have different nationalities out there. So that's the thing, and we have there also other people coming from there that have Omani nationality. So nationality is, at least for us, is like more like in a spectrum differently, you know, because you might be Omani, you might be Tanzania, or like you might be Pakistani or Irani, but we still have same culture kind of way, because that's the integration we had a long way through the years.
Yeah, well, and that's just amazing. And as you say, I mean, it's the hospitality, no matter what. It's almost, you know, it's ingrained, right? And as you say, and I've learned a lot because I've always just thought, okay, how are they so hospitable? I mean, and it's just such a beautiful thing, because especially for someone who lives here, but also when guests come. I mean, you know, my dad came to visit. He was here several months ago, and he still talks about Oman and how much fun he had and what a great time it was. But what stands out in his mind is the hospitality. We were walking around the souk in Bahala, and you know, one of the shopkeepers, oh, come over here, sit, let's have some coffee and dates and how long. And he just wanted to talk to my dad and just, how was your experience so far? Welcome to Oman. Please come tomorrow morning for the souk, you know, for the goat market we have also here in Bala, not just Nizwan. And my dad, that's just what he still talks about. And you know, and that's where I think you see and hear so many people. And I like how you said it. It's just you're Omanis have built this trust, you know, historically, geographically, and I think it's a really, I know I keep saying this, but it's really just a beautiful thing.
I mean, yeah, you can also, one of the things that's been proven this, Oman is not that famous in the international, you know, because also that's indicate why we're doing this, or like the hospitality here is nothing in return. We gain no famous or like reputation, we just do it, you know?
Right.
Because if we're trying to build up something else, Oman would be really famous, you know. But Oman is always this. Oman is always low key. It's like doing that thing, and like it's just the thing is always like the persona or the characters now Omani have, and now with the modern age coming, we have tried to see all these now schools who teach tradition, you know, in a good ways.
Yeah.
You know, like when you treat a guest. You have this customary you have to do when you stand, how to hide the elderly, how to, you know, welcome him in, how to start. So even in coffee, when you said we're giving coffee, like you start also first with the guests, you know.
Okay.
Don't start if everyone is family, you start with the elderly. If there's like everyone the same, you know, age, you start from the right all the way to the left. So you see this, that's a whole thing criteria.
It's a whole criteria.
Yeah, you know, like, so the guest is the first one in the whole criteria. It's not you know, the head of the tribe, or, you know, the one who is running the things, or like, you know, it's always the guest first. So the guest always beat all the criteria. He becomes the first.
He becomes the first.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of coffee, if I'm not mistaken, well, I mean, I know that if you're finished with the coffee, you should shake the cup.
Yes, yeah.
But now tell me, I don't know where I heard this once, but is it true that you should, if it's just the regular kahwa cups, should you have at least 3 cups, or is that something that I've misunderstood someone saying before?
The 3 thing is in Muslim and Arab. It's a lucky number. It's more like it's preferable number. You have to eat 3 dates. You have to do 3 steps. Like the 3 thing in our culture is something about it.
Right.
And also maybe they follow the Prophet, because the Prophet always have like this 3 thing rule. He fasts 3 days in a month. So I think it just became the 3 thing. Yeah, but yeah, like the max, this is from the guest, customary,
Right.
Like, okay, the guest don't want to show he's rude, like he's eating,
Right.
But it is all right,
Yeah.
But that's the thing that the guests start doing, when they met this type of hospitality, because he will give you coffee non-stop,
Right.
But he don't want to show up really rude, so you only get 3,
Right.
But it's fun to get more,
Right.
But that's his customary to the guest. So we have customary for the host and the guest, So we had all this, and it's either way your parents taught you that, or you can notice it in the majlis.
Okay.
So it's a thing, It's like, I don't know. Some stuff it's usual for me, so I cannot remember it now.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a whole criteria. But like, if we were sitting in the majlis, I can tell you what it is and what's that, But yeah, it's something really normal. I cannot even distinguish if it is like abnormal, unusual, Something like when the guest, then the elderly. I used to think it's normal, You should give the guest first, of course,
Right.
Whenever he sits, then you start with the elder. Even if you have you have 2 guests. Like, for example, the head of the tribe, he's having big status, but a foreign guest. So the head of tribe is familiar with these people, but his status is bigger. But you still give the guest first. Then you give the head of the tribe.
Okay, so the guest is the most important.
Yeah. So even if you went to the head of the tribe, he will invite the guests to take that coffee first. He will not take it. Yeah. So he will say, go to him first. So as someone who give a coffee, he's go there. Also, part of the hospitality, most of Omani's family they don't make the maid or like the worker do it. The kid or the owner of the house, children, they do the hospitality. They give the coffee, the food, and everything.
Okay.
It's like because they own the house, so it's part of their duty to give the food. So that gives you also the modesty of the host. Like, I'm making my children work for the guest,
Yeah.
Even if he is like having a status or whatever, they always have some people from the family to work for the guest. So it's part of things that we are not arrogant, we are humble. We make our kids or family members to work for the guests, give the food, give the coffee, and work for the thing. That's the majority of Omani's families have that, As a kid, my parents always, because I'm the youngest in my family, so in the majlis, I used to be the one who worked, give the coffee, doing that,
Yeah.
My older brothers or older siblings used to give me the directions, go give that and that and that, So, and it is normal when we have like funerals or like weddings. So the cousins always they ask for the young kids coming around.
Okay.
You should work in the weddings, and don't come and sit. You have to work, So that's also give the how Omani community work to each other, in the neighborhood, in the tribe, in the family, big families. So it's always there, And maybe now it's a bit changed. Starts hiring companies,
Right.
But still in there. Like if you went to some remoted area or like more traditional areas. Other than Muscat still have that, But if you want to like really traditional, like Bahla, Nazwa, no, they give the same, customary for that guest.
Yeah, and I think, I think, like you're saying, it's just so natural for you. But I think I like when I picked up on when you said that, in school you still have a traditions class where, kids can learn about this. So as you say, in the modern world where we're just so distracted with this, that, the other, and that's great that the schools are still teaching that. So the younger generations don't, lose this,
Yes, yeah.
This idea of, this is what you should still do.
Yeah, there's some I see now in online, there's some workshops they start doing, some trainers, they start doing a workshop for 2 hours, 3 hours. teaching the kids in the summer, like a summer camp, something.
Oh.
So yeah, this is like a whole course, or like 2 weeks course, like teaching the kids about the Islam values, about traditionally Omani values, how to treat a guest, how to treat elderly, how to help your parents, how to be good to your parents. So I think it's really nice, especially in TikTok and Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah, that was one distraction. I wasn't going to bring it up, right?
But yeah, it's really nice, like it's also to continue these values, like when you've seen a guest. And now, like, at least our, parents maybe, or like grandparents, some of them know local languages, some of them didn't know how to know English and stuff, but now with new generation, so they know so many languages,
right.
know?
Oh, yeah.
And like, I think it's really nice. This is going to take it to the next level, like to have this hospitality. And now I think tourism picking up now in Oman. Everyone coming to Oman now, yeah?
Yes.
So it's like, I think it's really nice when they're going to meet people, they start knowing the language. And I think one of the also part of the hospitality, Omanis don't care if you speak Arabic, like they don't force their language or like their value. They always try to learn the other people's language because it's more familiar. That's what that's been in history. When they do the trades, because they start learning other people's language like Hindi, Persian, like Swahili. So they start picking up different languages just to learn to the other side,
Yeah.
It's okay, you don't have to learn Arabic, So I think there's so many people living here for 20 years, 15 years, and they didn't have to learn Arabic to live here. They feel like, okay, integrated and welcomed here, because Oman is always trying to love learning other people's languages, Even though I speak one language, but I'm trying,
Oh, you're very talented, Khalid. I have no doubt in my mind that you will pick up another language very easily.
We will see how that goes in the future.
But just wanted to mention when you talked about people that come here, right? It's very easy to kind of settle here, and whether you're a traveler or living here, I found that it was easier to kind of assimilate just because of the trust and the help that people offer. And also, I remember once going to a shop and I didn't have my wallet with me. It's okay, pay later, come back tomorrow. And I thought, really? I've never seen this. Come back later, don't worry about it. And I thought,
we have your own credit card.
I know, and it's just, it's something so small, but it's just, or you don't. I remember once when I first moved to Sur and I didn't have any money and I took a taxi and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even have any money on me. It's okay, like, don't worry about it later. I'm like, please, we met a few days later. I mean, it was just, because I don't know many places that would just, a taxi would give you a ride and you don't give them money. No money, no ride, And so it's just, again, I can't say, there's just so many wonderful things to say. And as you say, tourism is opening up, and I think even more so over the past, couple of years, and even now there's so many, wonderful projects going on. And you also mentioned about the neighbors, the community. And I've always noticed, when I'm at a friend's house, especially also during Ramadan, where you're cooking for your neighbors and you're sharing food and offering, food during that time for neighbors, which again, it's so, the community here. And that's, I think, really special that this country, and as you said, this area in general, has just incredible.
Yeah, it's part of the philosophy. It's like, if you're giving the trust to other person, you should trust to otherwise,
Yeah.
If you don't give him in the first place, how he could trust you? So that's the thing, when we say we're giving the food first, then we ask where you're from.
Right.
Which is, it's part of customary. So we're giving the trust that we are welcome, warmth, and we trust you. So then the guest, he, kind of way, he forced to trust the other person, and give the same respect level of the host. So this is, even though in the region now we have so many parts of things going on, but it's still in there, the trust is going, and maybe personally, I don't like this thing that when they say it's only an Oman thing, it's not only an Oman thing. If you go to Yemen now, I think they will do the same thing to you. And it's just the level of the trust, if you start trusting, they will give the same thing back. Whenever it's gonna happen, it's like, it's always there, Like I said, if you geographically standpoint, it's in the center, so everyone should trust, if you to make a living, to go around and now become something part of the hospitality, So if you have been integrated, exposure to so many cultures, so many people from so different ethnic groups, nationalities and places, you always, you have all these experience embedded in your culture. As Omani, I cannot distinguish that, but it's in there. You can see that like it's built up through all these years. That a trust level that it's been there. It's you should give, then you give back. You know. So I think it's just part of the philosophy of Oman.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just a wonderful philosophy, and I really appreciate you talking with me today about Omani hospitality. And you mentioned there's classes now for the summer. Gosh, you should teach a class. You know,
I don't think I'm qualified for that.
I think you could do a short one on TikTok, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's what gonna become.
The modern world of TikTok. Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy there. Like, it's taking out everything. But now some of the mentors start doing these clips. You know how to do this, how to welcome someone. You know how to be not racist to anyone else. You know you have to be respect the others. So I don't know. Maybe some of you see some clips. I see some trying to get viral now through all the Arab world, and now the Arab world always mentioning now Oman. Like see all these clips about religious harmony living up there. We have so different religious standpoints, you know, and there's no problem in there, you know. And it's really nice to see that now it's also picking up with the world now. It's like, and hopefully we set up a good example to live in harmony in a world we have so many problems.
Well, I think Oman has done a great job with that. I mean, beyond
Hopefully.
great. Yeah.
Hopefully, inshallah.
Yeah. Okay, well, Khalid, thank you so much.
Oh, welcome.
And since you are a newly graduated
Yes.
student, all the best.
Hopefully, inshallah. Yeah, you too also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really honored to be here with you guys. And hopefully we do something else.
I was going to say, I would love to do something again.
Inshallah.
Okay, thank you, Khalid.
Thank you.